If you are here to learn how it's possible to generate extra income from home completely on autopilot, then you are definitely in the right place. So let me bring up my presentation, and I think it's always helpful to have something to look at that's better than this. So let me share that with you now. All right, very good. Okay, so here's the theme of our presentation. And as John said, my name is Andrew Lark. I'll be guiding you through this this evening. And before we dive in, a few friendly reminders. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't understand any of the jargon that they use, and I definitely don't own a gold Rolex. I am simply a crypto enthusiast sharing my own experience. All right, fair enough. Also, to get the most out of this presentation, I want to encourage you to minimize distractions so you can really focus. So now's the time to silence your phones, your social media, and probably the kids. It's also important to let me know that, or to let you know, sorry, that even if you're not interested in crypto, as I used to say, you do owe it to yourself to keep an open mind, because from my own experience, if I'd have listened to a friend who told me to buy Bitcoin back in 2016 when it was about £1,000, not that long ago, a £6,000 investment back in 2016 would have made me almost, get this, £500,000 today. So that's certainly one of my regrets, that I didn't pay attention to crypto sooner. So my promise to you today is this. I'm going to show you and prove to you how anyone, including you, can make daily passive income with crypto using a really nifty little known strategy called yield farming. It's very exciting and it is guaranteed. So here's a question for you. In return for sharing this secret and challenging perhaps some of your deeply held beliefs, can I ask you, first of all, to have an open mind, because there are going to be some things that challenge your existing beliefs, and also to allow me to present a special offer for those who would like to continue your education. So if that sounds fair to you, could you go ahead and type yes in the chat box, if that seems reasonable and fair? Okay, I see a few yeses coming in. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Awesome. We're on the same page. And I also now know that you can indeed hear me, which is good too. All right. So the offer, let's just sort of get this out of the way up front, since I've teased you about it, put your mind at rest. It's an online video training called Crypto Cash, the SparkSwap success system. And it shows you how to generate daily passive income within 3 to 5 days, guaranteed. So I'll come back to that later, but at least you won't have to wonder what the offer is. All right, who is this presentation for? Well, there's probably 3 broad possibilities. So see which one of these resonates most with you. Perhaps you're crypto curious. You're wondering how to get started in making money from crypto. Possibly you already have some experience with crypto, but you want to earn more. Or maybe number 3, you've got a day job with limited funds, but you do want to generate some passive income, which is obviously the best type of income. It's income that comes in every day automatically for work that you did one time to set it up. So of those 3, if you could just type in to the chat box 1, 2, or 3 to let me know which one is most applicable to you. If, maybe there's a crossover for some of you, but that would just be helpful to sort of see where you're at. Okay, great. Thank you. Pete says 3, Graham says 2, Colin says 1, Nicholas says 2. Okay, they're coming in fast and furious now. That's very good. Thank you. So kind of a mix, actually. All right, wonderful. Now, why is this the best way to generate extra income from home right now in 2024? Well, for 8 reasons. And let me just quickly run through these, because if you've looked at other ways to make money from home, probably you'll resonate with what I'm about to show you. Because first of all, you don't need any product or service. Secondly, you don't need a website, which is a lot of work to set up. You don't need to be a copywriter or designer or have any of those types of skills. You don't need an audience or a list or people to sell to. You also don't need any traffic to a website or anything like that. You don't need any sales skills. You also don't need to deal with any customers or people whatsoever, which as an introvert, I find very appealing. And you also don't need to spend time on it after it's set up. So it's a one-time deal, which I say takes between 3 to 5 days just to be safe, but many people have done it easily within 1 day, actually. So the bottom line here is all you need is a computer, an internet connection, and at least 100 to invest. So if that sounds good to you, again, you're in the right place. So who am I? Who is Andrew Locke, the presenter here tonight? Well, John mentioned a few things in his emails, but just to sort of give you a quick background, I won't bore you with the details, but I originally grew up in Surrey. My background was in the entertainment industry, first as a cameraman, then a TV producer, and then I actually became Paul Daniels' manager in the latter part of his career. I'm sure some of you know who he is. If you're not familiar with him, he had a prime time show on the BBC for about 15 years in the 80s and 90s. After that, I moved to the States for about 20 years. I wrote 10 business books, and I became a keynote speaker at all kinds of conferences and events all over the world, as you see pictured here. One of my specialist topics was or is Walt Disney, since I've studied him and been fascinated with him all my life, and one of my books is about Walt Disney. But the reason I'm telling you that all this is because in 2020, this happened and it changed everything. In 2020, all my speaking engagements got cancelled, and probably like you, I had a lot of time on my hands. So my life changed, literally within a week. So what I decided to do was I took a deep dive into the world of crypto. I had absolutely no knowledge of crypto whatsoever before this, but I looked into it, in a very deep way. I became obsessed about it. I tried lots of things, made lots of mistakes, and finally discovered what really works in generating passive income. And that discovery, as it says here, led to me consistently making about 150 a day using a little known strategy called yield farming, which is what I'm sharing with you. So that's sort of the history of how I came about this. And I do want to mention this point here because I think it's very important, having talked to John and some of the other students and people that I've helped. I'm well aware that you may have tried various things in the past to make money and perhaps failed miserably in some of those attempts. Very common. I've certainly experienced that myself. It's frustrating. It's disappointing. But as you'll see via the overwhelming proof I'll share with you, this system is truly different. And rather than beating yourself up for struggling or failing in the past, I want you to remember that it's not your fault. You simply didn't have the right method or the right mentor to help and support you. So I hope that makes sense, because it is important. And just to reinforce this important point, who knows who this chap is in the picture? If you know who it is, if you type it in let's see who's first in the chat box. Walt, yeah, very good. I think Graham was first. Graham Shepherd, yeah. Walt Disney, exactly. Well, did you know about Walt Disney that he went bankrupt twice and he was also fired in one of his first jobs because his boss said he lacked imagination and good ideas, which is absolutely ridiculous, of course, when you think about the success of Walt Disney. But he could have let those failures affect him and wallowed, as it were, but he didn't. He didn't do that. And just to give you another example, I won't ask you who it is because it says it on the screen. But if you think about the Beatles here, they wrote a few good tunes, didn't they? Well, look at what was said about the Beatles. They were turned, let me go back there. They were turned down by the biggest record company at the time who said, we don't like their sound and guitar groups are on their way out. Isn't that just crazy? We don't like their sound and guitar groups are on their way out. They could have let that affect them, but they didn't. And then thirdly, here we have Oprah, of course, so popular she doesn't even need a surname. And Oprah, what was said about Oprah, she was fired from being a reporter twice. And her bosses said that it was because she let her emotions get in the way of reporting the stories. Well, later on, as you know, it was her emotions that made her so incredibly popular in her her daily talk show. So she used what other people considered to be a weakness and turned it around as a strength. So I think it is important to realize that even the point is that even though these people all failed in the past, they didn't give up. They didn't let those setbacks define them. They used them to refine themselves and they kept going. So it didn't define them. And because I know the power of the system that I'm going to share with you tonight, for those of you who are willing to try it, I'm confident that tonight will be a turning point for you. Because and be a defining moment too, because you will have finally discovered something that really works to generate daily passive income, even though you might have tried other things in the past that didn't work for you. So coming back to our theme, creating daily passive income, I just want to visualize what that means for you. So imagine a pile of cash deposited in your bank account every month for work that you did one time to set this system up. It really is that simple, and it really is that life-changing. So it's an amazing thing to experience this. Let's get on the same page before I reveal what this secret is for creating this daily passive income. So we're sort of going to look at the foundation, so like I said, we're all on the same page. So when we look at the history of money, we started, of course, with the barter system. Cavemen used barter, and then eventually there was a transition to gold. Then we had metal coins and paper money. Then eventually credit and debit cards and electronic money. And here's the key point on this slide. Cryptocurrency is simply the next logical development in the world of money for lots of reasons. It's literally the next logical development. It's not something for geeks. It's not a fad. It is a logical development in the way that we will use money. And just to prove that, countless companies have already announced that they plan to integrate crypto into their products and services over the next few years. That's huge, well-known companies like Amazon, Starbucks, and Apple, just to name but a few. There's many others too, but this is basically crypto is going mainstream. And as you saw on that last slide there, between 2012 and 2024, Bitcoin, which is the most popular cryptocurrency, increased in value from $13 to $69,000. Just let that sink in for a minute. So this is not a fad. This is something that's already been around more than 15 years. Now, here's a question for you. No doubt you've heard some of the negative reports about crypto. Does that concern you? Being honest, does it concern you? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat box if you would, when you hear negative reports about crypto. I'm interested to know what you think. So let's see here. Looks like mostly no. Someone said sometimes, a few yeses. All right, well, let's look at why there are negative reports, because again, this background is very important to understand before you actually discover what the big secret is. So why are there negative reports? Well, if you look at some of the reports here from newspaper headlines, you can see that what's behind the negativity is, well, it's the banks. And so the negative reports are being driven by an industry that has a lot to lose by crypto becoming more popular, and that's the banks. So traditional banks, they really do hate crypto with a passion. And the fact is, they are spending millions trying to create fear and doubt around crypto. So the next logical question is, why are they doing that? Well, let's look at that. Here's why. Banks know and understand very well that they, compared to crypto, are inefficient, slow, expensive, and unsafe. So just to give you a few examples, traditional paper money is wide open to counterfeiting. There's nothing that they've been able to do about that. Don't have that problem with crypto. Secondly, a wire transfer is very costly and time consuming. I did that recently when I was over in the States. And to do a wire transfer, I had to drive first of all, I had to make an appointment. Then I had to drive to the bank, fill in some paperwork, which took about 10, 15 minutes. I had to wait for a manager to come and give approval for me to send my money. And then I waited a couple of days, and the person I was sending the money to called me and said, "Hey, I didn't get the money. Did you send it?" I said, "Yeah, I sent it." So I called the bank, and it turned out that they hadn't sent it. And so, so eventually they sent it. It got there about a week later, after the time of me going into the bank. And both I and the person receiving the money had to pay $30 as a fee, which is absolutely ridiculous compared to crypto, where you can send anyone money directly with one click of the mouse with a fee of just pennies, and it arrives instantly. And then the third thing is, if you look at the average annual interest with a bank account, it's about 0.03%. In fact, I've got the exact stat coming up shortly in a slide, but very, very tiny amount. And as you'll see, it's wildly different with crypto. So for all these reasons and more, the banks feel very threatened right now. So the sort of the bottom line is, traditional banks are like Blockbuster Video, and crypto is like Netflix, two ends of the spectrum of technology. And the reason that crypto is it's the future, is because the technology that it's built on is called the blockchain. It's infinitely more efficient, safer, and faster than what the traditional banks used. So now you know why there's a lot of negativity around crypto. It's all because the banks are pouring millions into trying to get people to believe that, because they realize their days are numbered. With that background, you might be interested to know that I explored many different ways of making money with crypto. And this is what I found. And although all of the different methods work to a greater or lesser extent, there was one method that stood out as being far superior to all the others, and that's called yield farming. And here's why it's so exciting. If we come back to our savings rate in traditional banks, on January the 9th, the savings rate was listed as 0.57% APR. That means that you make 0.5% interest on your money in a year. Now, have you ever stopped to realize what that actually equates to? For example, if you deposited £1,000 into a bank account after a year, how much would you have made? Does anybody know? Yeah, not very much, says Paul. Yes. Stephen has it right. Exactly. And the answer is £5.70 on your £1,000. Yet another reason not to use traditional banking. So a measly £5.17. You're going to be shocked shortly when I show you the contrast with crypto, with this area called yield farming. So now we get to the big secret. And I hope you're ready for this, because I'm about to blow your mind. I'm pretty sure your mind will be blown, because mine was when I first discovered this. There's a crypto investing system called SparkSwap, which allows you to get APRs over 100% a year, and sometimes over 200%. So compare that to our 0.57%. What a ridiculous difference. Over 100% and sometimes over 200%. It's variable. So here's some examples of APRs that are available today, right now, as we speak. Here's the website. Let me do a sort of close up. This was a screenshot taken from today. And I realize this probably looks a bit confusing, but I just want to point out a few things. There's 12 ways to generate daily passive income with this system. And each of those 12 ways has an additional 3 ways to profit. So there's a total of 36 ways that you can make money here. And just to drill down a little bit further, first of all, you get paid the daily interest. So every day you get paid the daily equivalent of, broken down from the annual percentage rate. And secondly, you get paid when the value of the crypto goes up. And this is a big one, because in this example that you see from one of my accounts on screen here, even though the interest rate was the lowest in the entire system, still way more than banks, but it's the lowest in the SparkSwap system, I deposited $2,000 2 weeks ago. And you can see, not only am I making daily passive income on that amount, the $2,000, if you look at the bottom green box there, has also increased to 3,352 from 2,000. So I've made 1,152 additional profit in addition to my interest payments. So how did that happen? Well, it's because the value of Ethereum, which is one of the popular cryptocurrencies out there, has increased in value over the last 2 weeks. So now I'm also earning daily interest on not 2,000, but I'm earning the interest on the $3,352, not $2,000. And it actually doesn't stop there, believe it or not. In addition to these 2 methods of making money, I'm also being paid out another amount every day for the next 10 years from something called the Sparkler. So can you see how powerful this system is? I realize this is a lot to take in, and to be honest, I didn't believe it when I first saw it. But then I tried it, and here I am 2 years later, still making money every day. So, but don't worry, I'm going to share with you a lot more proof to thoroughly convince you. So it's also important to know that I have been making this daily passive income for the last 2 years with the worst possible stock market conditions. The market has been in a down situation for the last 2 years. And now that the market has finally turned around in the last 2 weeks, that means it's the perfect time to get into this. And I see John just made a comment here to me that he said, don't forget to remind everybody that the money is not locked in. Yeah. So any money that you deposit in this system, it's not locked in like it would be with a long-term bank savings account. You can withdraw your money at any time. You can withdraw your money at any time. So it really is just absolutely, it makes traditional banks look ridiculous by comparison. Have a look at this. This is sort of a fascinating chart too, in view of the last 2 months, right up to date here. So here's the Bitcoin value in the last 12 months, but the focus is on the last 2 months in this particular chart. So as you can see, it was basically hovering around 45,000 for a very long time. One Bitcoin was about 45,000, but in the last 2 weeks, it absolutely has shot up. And now we've just seen a few days ago, literally, the latest all-time high of 68,342. It's a new all-time high. And that means that crypto is now printing money like never before. It's a very, very exciting time to be involved because all of the profits are exploding. So what does all this mean to you? Well, to boil it down, even if you don't understand anything that I've said over the last few slides, this is what it really means. Imagine what it would be like to automatically be generating this reliable recurring income, this daily passive income every day and every month. £50 a day gives you $1,500 a month. See how it adds up? £100 a day gives you an extra £3,000 a month. An extra £200 a day in daily passive income gives you £6,000 a month, and so on. So these numbers can really change your life for work that you did, again, one time for 3 to 5 days, sometimes a lot quicker to set this up. So very exciting. Now, are you thinking perhaps at this point, how, Andrew, is it possible for this system to be paying these high APRs? Well, certainly when you're used to traditional banking, it doesn't seem possible, does it? Because that's what we've been used to all these years. But this isn't traditional banking where the banks are making all the billions of dollars, keeping it for themselves. Now, for the first time in history, you get to be like a bank and generate these extraordinary APRs for yourself. So here's how it works. Here's how it is possible. Basically, the team behind this system invented a very popular tool for crypto users. And in return for helping to fund future expansion, you get a share of the fees from people who use the tool. So it's a shared investment system. Instead of going out to venture capitalists and so on, people like that would take a lot more money and have a lot more control, they've invited crypto users to be involved in this system to share the future growth of it. And you directly profit from the fees from people that use this very popular tool. So that's a simple way of explaining how it is possible. Why can you trust this system? Well, first of all, I've done extensive due diligence. I have, as I said, been generating consistent daily profits for over 2 years now. But of course, the only way you can verify it ultimately is to try it and experience it yourself with a small investment of around £200 to start with, or £100 if you like. And by the way, this is not MLM or anything like that. This is a very simple, easy way to deposit your money and make the APRs that I've said without your money being locked up. It really is that simple. There is a big secret also to investing completely safely and risk-free. And this is what I recommend that everyone do when they try this system. Basically, as soon as you've earned back your initial investment, you withdraw that profit, and then all future profits are based on free money with zero risk. In other words, here's an example. If you deposited £200, as soon as you generate £200 in interest, you withdraw that profit, but you've still got your initial £200 deposited. So you'll continue generating passive income from that point onwards with zero risk. Zero risk. So can you do this? It's a logical question. Well, let me ask you, can you navigate to a web page on the internet? If you can do this. Can you copy and paste some numbers and codes that I give you? If you can do this. Can you follow some simple step-by-step instructions to enter some information provided? Yeah. If so, you can do this. Do you have at least £100 to invest? If so, you can do this. So at this point, you're obviously, I'm sure, realizing that it is important to move forward immediately so you don't miss out on this new discovery that will dramatically improve your life starting today. Makes sense, right? So the next question is, would you like me to help you? Well, if you are curious about what you've seen so far and you'd like to try it and see it for yourself, here's a question. Would you like me to help you set everything up so that you can quickly generate daily, reliable, recurring income on autopilot, guaranteed? Well, I'm confident the answer to that would be yes. So the system, as I mentioned at the very start, is called Crypto Cash, the SparkSwap Success System. And let me tell you a little bit about it and what you can expect. What's included? Well, it's a simple step-by-step video training with full support that shows you exactly what to do to earn this daily passive income. It's presented in plain English. There's no jargon, and it's ideal for beginners. You don't need to have any experience whatsoever with crypto in order to do this. And it takes you through all of the processes that are needed to set this up. As I say, within 3 to 5 days. Some people do it much, much faster. But certainly I can promise you that within 3 to 5 days, you'll be generating passive income. And the reason I can say that is because everybody that's implemented this so far in our test group has succeeded. And they range from 12 to 80 years old. In fact, there's 3 students in the test group that are in their 80s. 3. Here's what I really want you to pay attention to now. So, if you are sort of listening with one ear and doing something else, I urge you to pay attention to this, because, of course, you would expect me to be enthusiastic about the system. I'm doing the presentation. You know that I want you to invest in the training. But what really matters, of course, is what our test group said. And John's been sending you emails. I've seen, how he's been raving about it. And, of course, I appreciate that, but I also know it to be true. But as I said, it's one thing for me to say all of this. and it's a completely another thing for you to hear it from the horse's mouth. So that's exactly what I want you to do in a moment. And I'm going to share with you comments from about 40 different people from our test group. And I want you to pay attention to what they say, because they're all making money. They will all talk about how easy the course is to follow, how it's step by step. Some of them will talk about how they had zero experience with crypto. A few of them had done something with crypto, but they said this was by far the best system they've ever come across. Anyway, you get the idea. So without further ado, please pay careful attention, because if you've been skeptical about anything that I've said to you, hear it from the horse's mouth and understand that these are people just like you who, when John first presented this about a month ago, they took the step to try it out, as I'm inviting you to do this evening. And this is what they have said after trying it out.
Hi Andrew, I just wanted to thank you for introducing me to SparkSwap. I found your course really easy to follow, and I was up and running and making money within a day or so. I love all your tips on how to keep everything safe, and I feel very lucky to be involved. Thanks again.
I've had enough experience in financial trading over the years to spot a scammer or someone who offers low value material at an overprice, and I found that Andrew is neither. His honesty and integrity is evident throughout his presentations and his course, and I'm very happy that I made a decision to buy it. Anybody, whatever their level of background or knowledge, can follow the course and make money. You cannot fail.
I was concerned I would get completely lost, but Andrew really takes the time to explain everything step by step, and it comes in bite-sized chunks that make it simple to fit around everything else that you already do.
I think it's refreshing how well he's demystified the world of crypto, putting things in plain language.
I'm very happy actually looking at my little account every day and just watching the dollars mount up in terms of profit.
The trading course over-delivered in every aspect. Everything is explained in easy-to-watch videos. Andrew goes above and beyond in this course, and I highly recommend it.
Has been the best decision that I've ever made. I'm actually already starting to make a daily passive income. Every day it grows.
I started out with a small amount of capital until I became comfortable with the way things worked. I'm now increased my investment and I'm enjoying increased profits.
Andrew's product is excellent. The support is second to none. I'd highly recommend this to anyone who's interested in crypto.
But I was up and running in no time at all and making money.
Yes, I've invested money in it and I am making money from it.
Never done crypto before, thoroughly enjoyed it and actually making a few quid. Very impressive.
Oh, it's been very good and profitable, which is the main thing. So I'd 100% recommend it.
Easy to understand, even for somebody like me who's 71 years of age, and it's a great thing to do. So do yourself a favour, jump straight in and start earning some passive income now.
Fantastic training, and it's working out really, really well.
The course is very well laid out and delivers everything needed to make a passive income.
The sooner you do this, the sooner your funds will be earning money. I've never seen anything as easy to follow as this particular training that Andrew's put together.
Having been burnt by crypto in the past, I was slightly skeptical, but this does teach a genuine way to receive a return on an investment, large or small, using crypto. It's easy to implement, and most of all, it works.
I am 80 next birthday, and I found Andrew's course very informative.
Very easy to follow. I would very much thoroughly recommend the SparkSwap crypto course.
He actually answers every question very quickly.
I highly recommend the course.
I was 84 and I think I know everything, but fantastic new course. I've learned a lot.
It's an absolute godsend.
I have to say I've been very pleased with the results. It's proving to be profitable and also very low risk, which is really important to me.
So if you're looking to develop your understanding of cryptocurrencies and making a profit, or if you're just looking for something new to add to your investment portfolio that will produce a passive income, then I would highly recommend Andrew's course.
The course not only met, but far exceeded my expectations.
You'll see why it's worth the money once you join.
I have some crypto experience, but it was still really good to see it pared down to basics. And I'm now in the system making money.
I'm now making solid growth in the funds that I invested. In fact, it's a brilliant course and I'd recommend it to anyone.
Have I been making profits? Yes. I go on there every few days and it gives me a real buzz.
These investments now feel a bit like a supercharged savings account in a way. So really enjoy logging in and seeing what profits I've made.
For me, the most important aspect was at the end of it, I could actually use it. I could actually use it to earn. And, that was way more, to be honest, than I had received from any other course.
And if you have any questions, I particularly liked was if you scroll down, there are comments there, and any question you have has probably been asked by someone else.
It was easy to set up. More importantly, I'm now making money and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
You can't go wrong, really. It's just, it is very, very straightforward.
I was a little skeptical at first, but the training that Andrew provided was absolutely outstanding and comes highly recommended by me.
Andrew's SparkSwap course has shown me how to quickly, easily and safely manage and make money from crypto.
I'm actually making a passive income. Buy this course, you'll not regret it.
What he taught us paid for the course. Within a couple of weeks, I made my money back. So truly amazing. Highly, highly, highly recommend it.
I learned a lot about crypto through his lessons and how to make a passive daily income, which currently I have gotten that up to probably almost $100 a day.
Andrew's a really good teacher. I would certainly suggest you sign up.
If you just take the course and implement what he teaches you, you'll make money. It's that simple.
All right. Well, I did promise you overwhelming proof, and I believe that is the case here, and that you can see that with this strategy and my training, it is literally impossible to fail. I really, my intention is to persuade you that is the case. I realize some people are skeptical, but that's why I've gone to such great lengths to gather these comments from our test group so that you could hear it directly from them. So Crypto Cash, the SparkSwap success system, there are a few qualifications in order to invest in this system that you need to agree to. First of all, you need to be an action taker, not a complainer, because I really don't have time for that. And, not to sound harsh, but, everybody in this test group was really a delight to work with. Secondly, you must not share this system with others because it is very powerful, and it is something that is people need to invest in order to understand and be able to benefit from themselves. It's not fair to share it with others. And third, you must be willing to provide a testimonial when you start earning passive income, and you'll see why I'm asking that in just a moment. So I know you're probably thinking already, what is the investment for this system to learn how to do everything step by step? Well, the fact is only a small number of people know about this at the moment. It is kind of under the radar. It is somewhat of a secret. And because it is so powerful, I've seen a couple of people charging a fee of £12,000 to £15,000 in order to teach step by step how to do this. Well, you'll be pleased to know the investment here is certainly not going to be that. But just to put it in perspective, that is what some people are charging. However, again, putting it in perspective, I've spent more than 2 years of my own time, as I mentioned to you, making a lot of mistakes, spending my own money, testing the system. And so I've spent over 600,000 of my own money and time in order to really discover what works and what doesn't. And you now get the benefit of that in following my blueprint. So you don't have to spend £600,000. But as an introductory offer to gather more success stories, I'm going to make a special offer for you today. And that is, it's a very, very special offer. And without further ado, I'm going to make it available to you today for $997. And there's also the option of a 3-pay payment plan if you prefer to split the payment. So if you're ready to try it out, and as promised here, you will be making daily reliable recurring income, daily passive income within 3 to 5 days. I'm going to put the link in the direct link in the chat box now too, so you can directly click on it if you are ready to try this out. Now, when you go to the website to try it out, you're going to have, there's 2 tabs here. You can select, basically the one in white is the one that's selected. So you can opt for the single pay of $997, or you can choose to split the payments. There is a little bit extra in there for accounting purposes, 3 times $350. It's your choice, but that's how you do it there. If you're wondering what the time investment is, you can literally set this up in a day. I say 3 to 5 days. Make sure that it's within the realm of everybody, but most people have done this much faster. You will see results in hours and you can monitor it in minutes. So it is a beautiful thing to witness. Some questions that come up: when can I start? As soon as you enroll tonight, you're going to have instant access to the training, and it's designed to be consumed at your own pace. In other words, you can watch the training at any time. There's no time limit. You will have lifetime access to the training to go at your own pace. Do you guarantee my success? Yes, 100%. And the reason I say that is because it has worked for everyone who implemented the training in the test group last month. So that's how I can say it will work for you too. So yeah, 100% I guarantee that it will work for you, as you saw on the video comments from the test group of students. What will happen if you say yes tonight? Well, you will be generating daily passive income within 3 to 5 days from now, and it will continue day after day. Simple as that. What would happen if you said no? Well, obviously nothing. Nothing will change. You won't be generating daily passive income on autopilot. You know, I'm just saying that to make it obvious that the only way that you're going to generate this daily passive income is by trying out this system and seeing it for yourself. I've had a few people over the last month or so ask me this: if you're making so much money doing this, why are you offering this training? Well, a couple of things. I could be a hermit and keep it to myself, but first of all, I really enjoy teaching, as you'll see in the training. And secondly, I genuinely get great satisfaction from seeing people's lives transformed in a similar way to winning the lottery. It's a beautiful thing. It's exciting. It's, you know, it's amazing for me and wonderful to see these video comments being sent to me, and makes me very, very happy to share it with others. Now, possibly you may be thinking, well, maybe I could do this myself without the training, help and support from Andrew. Well, possibly that is the case, but here's the reality. If you start getting into this and you're not an expert in crypto, it is really like learning Klingon, because it's a whole other language of things to learn. And in the training, like I say, I demystify all of the jargon and I break it down in plain English and guide you through everything that you need to know. So that's it would be dangerous to try and do it by yourself. So ultimately, your decision tonight comes down to one word, and that one word is belief. Because frankly, either you don't believe me or the 40 plus students who shared their success stories on video, or you don't believe that you can do this. Somehow you feel that you are different to others. Well, I can tell you that I believe in you, because you are no different from any of the other students who have 100% of them who've implemented this have been successful. It works, it's simple, and you can do it. It's as simple as that. And like I said, I've collected many testimonials already. I want to collect yours too. That would make me very happy. And again, it just requires you to take action this evening to get over that belief issue that's going on in your mind, perhaps, if you haven't already taken action, and to go to getcryptocourse.com or click on the link that I posted in the chat. And as I said, you will be making daily, reliable, recurring income, that passive income, within 3 to 5 days at the most, just as all these other students have. So as I said earlier, with this strategy and my training, it is literally impossible to fail. So with that, I'm going to hand back to John. I'll let you take it from here, John.
Thank you, Andrew. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can.
Yeah, yep.
I've been quiet for a long time. I'm worried that my voice might not be working. Unusual for me. And by the way, a couple of you may have detected that Andrew's not on absolute top form this evening. He's obviously got a bit of a cold in his chest there. So yeah, well done, mate, for grinning and bearing.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure.
So yeah, I'd like to pick up on a few things. I mean, could you go back to that slide with the guy from Star Trek in it? I can't remember his name, but Michael somebody, if I remember rightly, the Klingon fella. Yeah, this point here, true story. 2, maybe 3 days ago, I had a conversation with someone who's been on Andrew's course and was full of praise for it. And his comment was basically, it was I've actually been struggling with MetaMask, let alone anything else, for 2 years. I went through Andrew's course, and a side benefit I wasn't expecting was that I understood MetaMask and got it working properly for the first time ever. And I just want to dwell a little bit on this. I mean, yeah, they're all weird words, techno, techno chat that means nothing to most people. DEX, decentralized exchanges, Pancake Swap, sounds like a cooking program. BSC, the Binance Smart Chain, BNB token, and so on, all meaningless without some input on how to put this stuff together. I have been knocking around online, literally knocking around, I think, since 2001. Okay, I have seen gurus come and go. I have seen people selling courses for ridiculous sums of money. In fact, I have twice over that period spent just about, let me see. Yeah, one of them just under £15,000 on a course, and another one was like, I don't know, just under 11 grand or something. And they were not a fraction of the kind of usefulness that Andrew's crypto course actually does for us. And the thing that he hasn't obviously dwelt on for very long is that he doesn't just show you, oh, here's this way to make passive income using this great SparkSwap system. He actually lays every brick down for you. Now, a lot of people don't know this about me, but my first entry into cryptocurrency, well, actually, it should have been 2010, but that's a long story and another story. But my first entry into cryptocurrency properly, as in spent money for the first time buying crypto, was in 2012. Okay, So I'm what you'd call a bit of an old veteran where it comes to crypto. And I still learn something from Andrew's course. I don't say that glibly or lightly. I'm not trying to give you a rah-rah session here. It's just bloody good quality. And quite frankly, even if you went through the course and for whatever reason you decided you didn't want to actually make the passive income back afterwards, the course is worth more than he's asking just for what you learn about crypto, just for what you learn about doing it properly and safely. And that in itself is an eye-opener. If you do then go on, hopefully you will, because why wouldn't you, to set up the actual strategy he gives you, there's no BS there. You will literally see the money going into your I'll call it accounts. They're technically called farms, but you'll see the money going into your accounts literally within minutes. You know, given a relatively short period of time, you will see how the money adds up. Now, it's like everything else in the world. If I go and put 10 grand in an ISA, I'm going to make more money than someone who goes along and puts 2 grand in an ISA. That's a no-brainer. So how it's funded and what you do with your own funding afterwards, well, that's entirely down to you. And another thing I loved about this from the first time I saw it is that you literally can kick it off for 100 quid. And technically you could probably do less than that. I don't know. I think when I first got going with it, I put about $450 to $460 in because I literally had that laying around in my MetaMask wallet. So let me just recap that because it's so important. You will get a very, very sound and structured intro into crypto and how to do it properly and how to do it safely. Something that Andrew hasn't dwelt upon again, that I think is so important, is you stay in control of this money all the time. It doesn't go off to an exchange that might go bust tomorrow. It doesn't go into some company. It's literally all done very, very cleverly through this one system that you keep control over with your own wallet. And if you follow his instructions, you'll set that wallet up properly, safely, securely, and you will not look back. So don't be hung up by the fact that on the face of it, you have to find some money up front. Of course you do. If you went to invest in any worthwhile education, it will cost you money. This, however, is head and shoulders above anything else that I've seen in the same sort of area. And yeah, I don't say that lightly. I really don't. I would recommend it to anybody. So if you haven't done it already, there's the link in the chat there. Just click on that link, go through it. Don't procrastinate. Don't think about, oh my God, you know, am I doing the right thing? It's giving you some easy payment terms as well. So you don't have to come up with the money straight away, all in one lump, but just do it. Get in there and see the difference that doing something professionally and properly can make. I am as experienced, this sounds terribly conceited, but it's true. I'm as experienced as anybody I know in the field of cryptocurrency. I went through Andrew's course. This is no lie. I've been through it now 4 times. Why? Well, firstly, I wanted to be totally familiar with what he was delivering. But the other thing is that he's just so bloody good at how he delivers it. I mean, I've been toying with the idea of putting crypto courses together for years. I have, as some of you who've been around a while may know, I've been writing about crypto in the past. I've done newsletters, I've done all sorts of training on it. I look at Andrew's presentation and I think, my God, you're not even close to being at that standard, John. You know, get your finger out, son. It's that good. It really is, guys.
Nicholas had a follow-up. He said the 100 to 200% APR range, is this with or without compounding? That's without compounding. So that's what you get paid on just the standard amount. So once you add compounding into it, it really makes it, amazing. I mean, just as an example, I put in $2,000 into one of the farms back in, what was it? Maybe September, I think. And through the interest and 100% compounding, in other words, I haven't withdrawn any profits. I've just kept compounding. That 2,000 is now worth over 6,000. So between September and where are we now? I'm not sure how many months it is, but yeah, not that many. I mean, time goes fast now, doesn't it?
It does. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap this up now. So literally, I'm gonna pull the plug any second. Thank you very, very much for coming along. Do get yourself involved, because I hear it all the time. I've been very disappointed with some of the things I've got involved in crypto wise, and I hear it all the time about how people just can't seem to make money with cryptocurrency. Well, you have this evening been shown the thing that will get you there, and I kid you not, all you have to do is follow it. And the beautiful thing about a video course, of course, is that you have things like a rewind button. You can start again. You can play each individual video as many times as you want to. So if something isn't clear, you've got it there at your fingertips. You can just do it again. And they're all lovely bite-sized chunks. Andrew makes it very, very clear. And I hope we can welcome you on board. And with that, I would bid you good night and thank you very much for coming along. I hope that you become Andrew's latest students. Okay.